I had this realization the other day that kind of messed me up. I used to lay in bed stressed about something that might happen next week. And I mean stressed, like my chest was tight, I couldn't sleep, my mind was just racing through every possible way this thing or whatever was happening could go wrong. And then I started to stop myself and ask myself, is this actually happening right now? Like right now in this moment lying in my bed? No, obviously not. It was literally just a thought about a future that doesn't exist yet. But my body didn't know that. My body was responding like the threat was real, like it was happening right now. And that's when it clicked. My brain has been doing this my entire life, creating entire disaster scenarios that exist only in my head, and then making me live through them as if they're real. That's insane, right? Like, when you actually think about it. Your brain is like a really bad fortune teller, you know? Here's like what I've noticed. My brain loves to predict the future, especially it loves to predict bad futures. It'll take any situation and immediately jump to worst case scenario. Meeting someone new, my brain's already imagining how they reject me. Have a presentation coming up, my brain's already played out the version where I completely bomb it and everyone thinks I'm incompetent. Waiting for test results, my brain's already diagnosed me with 7 different diseases. And the weird part is, my brain is convinced this is helpful, like it thinks it's preparing me, protecting me, getting me ready for the bad thing. But here's the thing, it's almost always wrong. Like, I can't even count how many times I worried about something and then it either didn't happen at all, or it happened and was nowhere near as bad as I imagined. But does my brain learn from this? Does it go, oh hey, we were wrong about that, maybe we should chill? Nope. It just moves on to the next thing to worry about. It's like having a weather app that predicts storms every single day and it's wrong 95% of the time. But you keep checking it anyway. This is the part that really got me. When you worry, you're essentially living through the bad thing multiple times before it even happens. If it even happens. Like, think about it. If you worry about something for a week and then it doesn't happen, like, you just put yourself through a week of unnecessary suffering. And if it does happen, you experience it twice. Once in your head while you were worrying, and once in reality. Worrying doesn't prepare you, it just makes you go through it more times. I think part of why we do this is because we think worrying means we care. Like, if I'm not worried about something, does that mean I don't care about it? If I'm not anxious about the future, does that mean I'm being irresponsible? No, but we've convinced ourselves yes. We think worry is preparation, worry is responsibility, worry is love. But it's not. Worrying about someone doesn't help them. Worrying about your future doesn't make it better. Worrying about the problem doesn't solve it. Action solves problems, preparation solves problems. Worry just loops in your head and drains your energy. And I get it because I do this too. I'll be worrying about something and if someone tells me to stop, I'm like, but I have to worry about this, it's important. But why? What am I actually accomplishing by sitting in anxiety about it? Usually nothing. Usually I'm just making myself feel terrible about something I can't control anyway. And that's the real kicker, right? Like, I did this thing where I wrote down everything I was worrying about, just made a list. And then I went through and marked which things I could actually do something about. And it was like maybe 20% of the list, that the rest was just stuff completely out of my control. What other people think, what might happen, how things might go wrong, all stuff that I have literally zero power over. But my brain was spending hours every day spinning in those things, creating scenarios, planning for disasters, trying to control things that are fundamentally uncontrollable. And meanwhile, the things I could control, the actual actionable stuff, I was too anxious to deal with because I'd already exhausted myself worrying about everything else. That's backwards, right? We should be putting our energy into what we can actually change, not spiraling about what we can't. But worry doesn't work that way. Worry just latches onto whatever it can find and won't let go. Someone told me this once and it stuck with me. When you worry, you're taking problems from the future that might not even exist and bringing them into today. And then you're paying interest on them in the form of stress and anxiety. Like, you're literally making your present worse by importing future maybes. And the interest rate is brutal because worry compounds. You start worrying about one thing and then you start worrying about the fact that you're worrying and then you're anxious about being anxious, and then you're stressed about being stressed. It just spirals, and the whole time, the actual present moment, which is usually fine, is being completely ignored. I'll be somewhere nice with people I care about, doing something I enjoy, and my brain is somewhere else entirely, more worrying about something that isn't even happening and that probably won't happen. I'm physically present but mentally absent, living in a future that doesn't exist instead of the present that does. And look, I'm not gonna pretend I've figured this out, like I still worry, probably too much, but I'm starting to worry less. Like what's been happening me, at least to recognize when I'm doing it, is that I started asking myself, is this happening right now? No. Could it happen? Not. Might it happen? Is it happening right now? Because if it's not, then I'm worrying about fiction. I'm anxious about a story my brain made up. And sometimes that's enough to snap me out of it, sometimes. Other times I have to get more specific. Okay, if this thing I'm worried about actually happens, what would I do? And usually when I actually think I'd realize like I'd figure it out, I'd handle it. It might suck, but I'd get through it. Just like I've gotten through every other thing I was worried about before. Because here's what my track record usually shows. I've survived 100% of the things I worried about so far. Either they didn't happen, or they did happen and I dealt with them. So like maybe I can trust that about myself? Maybe I can trust that I'll handle whatever comes instead of trying to handle it before it even arrives? I don't know, still working on that part. But here's what I'm learning. Right now is almost always okay. Not perfect, not amazing, but okay. It's the future that's scary, it's the what ifs that are terrifying. But the future isn't real, it literally doesn't exist, it's just thoughts. And yeah, things will happen, bad things might happen. Uncertainty exists. But worrying about it doesn't change it. It just makes now worse while you wait for later. So maybe the move is to just be here, in the moment that actually exists, and deal with problems when they're actually problems, not when they're just possibilities your brain invented. Easier said than done, I know, but I'm trying, because I've wasted enough time living in my head instead of my life, and I don't want to waste more. Comment if you can relate with this, and if you worry too much too, because I think we all do. Otherwise, have a great day and a great night, and goodbye.